I'm Richard Moss calling from New Zealand Law Society.
The complaints are confidential between the parties.
Oh, okay.
Yep, unless the committee issues.
Okay, so who gives the committee the authority to tell me what I can and can't do? I spoke to you last week, or on the 22nd of February, asked for Richard Moss to please contact me back and left my details. I was wondering if I'm likely to get a call back this week. I've waited 8 days for him to call me back. Here's my complaint. Your complaint, and this is off the original form. Complaint was, I required legal advice from ewes to help. I have video recorded the entire interaction and supplied this to New Zealand Law Society, who has viewed it. Failed to give any meaningful explanation as to who was the man making a claim, who was the defendant, what an offence was, got aggressive and walked out refusing to answer my questions. Right, that's my complaint. Decision. Pursuant to section 138 part 2 of the Act meaning Lawyers and Conveyancing Act, or whatever section 138 part 2 is. Now you're sitting there thinking, okay, I've made a complaint, everything's fine. But then if you're not happy with that and you want to go for a review, any application for review of this decision may be lodged with the LCRO within 30 days after a copy of this notice of decision is served on, given to, or otherwise brought to the attention of the application for review. In the absence of proof to the contrary, this is presumed to have occurred on the 5th working day after the date of the decision. So it's just a presumption. An application for review must be on the prescribed form and accompanied by the prescribed fee of $50. Contact the details for the LCRO, and they've given you a private bag and a contact number. And that was signed by a conveyor. Well, so he's flat and he goes around rollers? I think he's a man. And of course there's the lawyer's complaint evaluation form that they've asked me to please take my valuable time and fill out. I'll be filling this out alright, don't you worry. Now the kicker here is it's marked personal and confidential. So what I'm going to do, try and find out who was on this made the decision, because I want some reverse liability for this apparent decision. The conveyor, so you know he's just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger, so he can't be held liable even though he signed this letter. He's just the conveyor. And of course the top letter here is from another guy named Richard Moss, Legal Standards Officer. Please find attached a notice of decision in relation to the matter and the reasons set out in the decision itself. What reasons? Didn't see any reasons given. They don't give any meaningful explanation or as to the reasons as to how they come about their decision. Just what their decision is and a presumption. But first off, what I'm going to do is I'm going to speak to Legal Standards Officer. I'm going to try and get through and ask to speak to a Richard Moss and find out why it's private and confidential. This is 0800 261 801.
Welcome to the Law Society Complaint Service. This is Zylpha.
Hello, is Richard Moss available please?
Oh no, I'm sorry, I can't transfer you from this line. I could possibly get a message to Richard to give you a call.
Oh, that would be fantastic.
Who am I speaking with?
My name is Mark.
Mark?
And if you contact me on...
He knows what it is in relation to, Mark? Is it a complaint that he has, is it?
Well, I've just got a letter with his name and signature on it in regards to a complaint that I made with a duty solicitor back in...
Oh, okay.
So I've got a letter of decision, and I'm just querying. Unless you might be able to help me instead of Richard.
Right.
I'm trying to find out who made the decision.
That you've received, yes, it would have come via, whatever it was that was looking into that.
I'd like to have some reverse liability, because obviously they've made a decision.
Yeah.
So who would be?
Yeah, I'm not sure who's on that one, but Richard would be able to let you know that. But you do know that your appeal is to the LCRO.
Yeah, I saw that, a $50 charge too, which I found quite cheeky. Why should I be paying $50 for a public service?
Well, that's like separate to us, so you'd need to take that up with them. There's an 0800 number if you want to talk to them.
Oh, I've got that there on the paperwork. That's not a problem. Also, another question. It says here it's marked personal and confidential, or private and confidential.
Yep.
I don't understand what that is all about. As far as my understanding was, I was being treated as a member of the public. The lawyer was acting in a public capacity, and the New Zealand Law Society is a public thing, is it not?
The complaints are confidential between the parties.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Unless the committee issues.
Okay, so who gives the committee the authority to tell me what I can and can't do?
There's legislation that sets down what committees can and can't do. There's legislation that sets down what committees can and can't do.
So how does that legislation apply to myself?
Well, because it's
Because I guess what I'm saying is, sorry, what was your name again?
Zylpha, Zylpha.
Zylpha. I guess what I'm asking is as far as I'm aware, I mean, I gave notice right at the start of my complaints and stuff that everything I do is put on public display. It's on YouTube, it's on multiple public forums.
Right.
And for all of a sudden to see a complaint that I've put through being marked private and confidential, I'd like to know who's saying that they have authority to tell me what I can and can't do. This is a matter, whether it's between parties or not. The solicitor was acting in a public capacity, and to me all of this is in the public domain. There is no privacy whatsoever. So where does this committee derive its authority to tell me what I can and can't do?
Okay, well, I mean, they will have, and all like that, on their, on all complaints, they are confidential between the parties.
I can't see that anywhere on the complaints form here that I filled out.
The actual form, the complaint itself, the decision, is always between the parties. The information is always between the parties. But if you would like me to get Richard to give you a call... Yes,
just to clear up this this private and confidential stuff, because as far as I'm concerned, it's going all up on YouTube. And there is no expectation of privacy when the solicitor was acting in a public capacity.
Right.
And I mean, if she didn't want to do things in a public capacity and go work for a private law firm, then sure, she can have some privacy that way. But I don't understand that one at all. So if you don't know the legislation you're talking about that gives the Standards Committee the supposed power and magical stuff that they have.
Yeah, it'll be under the Lawyers and Conveyances Act and the regulations that apply to those.
What section?
I can get Richard to give you a call, and he can then, talk directly to you.
That would be awesome, Zylpha. Any idea when he might call?
No, I'm sorry, I've no idea, but I'll get the information to him, and I'll give him your number. I'll read that back to you again, Mark.
Thanks very much.
Do you have the complaint number there?
Yeah, I do actually. Just let me use that paperwork. Well, file number is 1. Yeah.
And what was your surname, Mark?
But my person's last name.
Right. All right, I'll forward that on to Richard.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.
G'day guys. It's the 1st of March 2016. Last week, or I believe it might have been the 22nd of February. Leap year this year. 22nd of February, I contacted the New Zealand Law Society. As in the call there, asked for Richard Moss to contact me. He's the man who's the legal standards officer who sent me a letter in regards to the complaint I lodged against the lawyer who got up and walked out on me as a duty solicitor. The lady said to me that she'd take my number and give me a call back. It's been now 8 days. I'm just curious as to how long it will take for Richard to call me back, so I'm going to give them a secondary call, ask again for Richard to contact me. The reason I'm contacting is I just wish to know who the people are on this that made the decision, so I can question them as to how they came to their decision. I think it's only fair that I have clear and complete, meaningful explanation as to how they came to the conclusion they came to. I'm not just going to say take the word because they say so. I'd like to see how they derived that conclusion. Seems simple enough, doesn't it? So let's give them a call.
Welcome to the Law Society Complaint Service. This is Zylpha.
Zylpha, hello, how are you?
Thank you.
Good, good. I spoke to you last week, or on the 22nd of February, asked for a Richard Moss to please contact me back and left my details. I was wondering if I'm likely to get a call back this week. I've waited 8 days for him to call me back.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm not sure. I did forward the message on, but I can do it again.
If you could, please.
Yeah, so I do recall, but I've forgotten your name. Who was it I was speaking to, sorry?
Mark?
Mark.
Yep. I'll give you the file reference number if you like.
Yep.
Yeah. And I'm just basically seeking some more information as to who the people were on this.
Right, yeah, yeah. Can I take your number again, Mark?
Sure, it's, yeah.
Great. I'll forward that on to Richard again.
Thanks, Zylpha.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See what happens this week. Hello?
Hello, it's Richard Moss calling from New Zealand Law Society.
Oh, g'day Richard, how are you?
Hi, good. How can I help?
Yeah, I called last week. I got a letter from you in regards to a complaint.
Yeah?
Yeah, after the
Did you get a decision or a letter?
there was a letter and a decision attached to it from someone else, I believe.
Right, okay.
I'm calling to find out who the people were on this, and I don't quite understand the privacy point that was brought up in there.
It's in the legislation. So the legislation says...
I'm not legally trained and I don't understand legislation.
Yeah, I'm telling you, the legislation that covers the conduct of standards committees said that decisions are to remain confidential between the parties unless a publication order is directed.
Am I not one of those parties?
Sorry, are you not one of them?
Yeah, well, I'm the one that made the complaint.
Yeah,
but I've
so
also...
You've got a copy of the decision, and the order is there's been no publication order made, so you'll be breaching the legislation if you publish it.
How does that work when there's no contractual obligation between myself and the New Zealand Law Society? Well, where does the legislation derive its authority over myself? Well, you're telling me legislation says I can't do something. I'm asking, where does the legislation derive its authority to tell me what to do?
Well, the legislation was passed by the government.
I still haven't heard a man or a woman's name yet. Who is saying that they have authority to tell me what to do?
The government has
well, I haven't met Mr. or Mrs. Government. I need to know what man or woman is taking reverse liability saying I can't do something.
The way the system works is that we vote the government in and they pass legislation.
Okay, so do you have proof that I have registered my person as elector or a voter within the registration of elections? Do you have evidence that I have consented to be governed in that fashion?
I'm not interested.
You're not interested? So
No,
you don't care? So you're just going to blindly believe that they have authority to tell me what to do?
I'm not interested in answering that question. I don't think I can answer it.
Because there is no authority. So, well, my understanding is that I'm governed under consent through my person. Is that correct?
I can't comment.
Why not? You're the New Zealand Law Society, are you not? Are you not the manager?
I'm not, and I'm not qualified to give legal advice on these matters.
So then why are you trying to tell me what legislation says if you're not legally qualified to tell me what it means? Do you understand that?
I do understand it.
Right, well, how can you honestly tell me that legislation says this and that when you're not legally trained and don't understand the language it's written in?
No, I didn't say that. I said the legislation's clear that...
It isn't clear. I'm asking for clarification.
A decision must remain confidential. A decision must remain confidential between the parties unless a publication order is made, and there's been no publication order made.
You were aware I gave... Are you aware that I gave notice to the New Zealand Law Society that every single thing I would be doing would be made public? And there was no rebuttal to that whatsoever?
Well,
so you were given notice.
The rebuttal's at the bottom of the decision.
I'm ringing for clarification to that notice at the bottom of the decision, which is written in legal terms that I don't understand, and you're apparently not legally trained to give me the advice.
Look, I think the usual.
I'm not a usual. I'm dealing with this matter now, not usual.
Yeah, just let me finish.
Sure.
The usual process would be that you go and get, if you think that what's been said doesn't bind you legally, then you might want to get some legal advice.
I have. Am I not calling the New Zealand Law Society to find out legal advice about this?
We don't give legal advice.
Then why are you telling me that I can and can't do something?
I'm not telling you you can't do something. I'm just saying to you that if you think this is wrong and you're planning on making publication, you'd be wise to take some legal advice before you did.
No, I've given notice that everything I am doing in regard to this matter is going to be made public. No one's rebutted that statement. So who is saying that I can't, and who is saying that they have authority to tell me what I can and can't do? I need a man or a woman to take some reverse liability for the actions and the decisions of the New Zealand Law Society. Is there anyone there that has a backbone and is willing to take responsibility for the decisions?
The decision speaks for itself.
No, it doesn't. It needs a man or a woman to speak.
There's a clause in the legislation that talks about publication.
Again, I don't understand legislation. It's written in legal terms and conditions that I don't comprehend, and you aren't trained to tell me what they say and don't say. So how can you honestly tell me what your interpretation of legislation is? Are you correct in your interpretations of the legislation?
I'll do one thing.
Sure.
I'll do one thing only.
What's that, Richard?
I'll point you to the legislation.
Is this the Conveyors Act 2006?
Yep.
Yeah, so I've read it, I don't understand any of it, and as you guys are using that as some sort of force and effect over me, I'd like some explanation.
Just a moment, I'll just put this down and I'll put the phone down and I'll have a look at the Act. So I'm only going to do this, and then I'm not going to talk to you anything more about this.
Why is that, Richard?
The Lawyers and Conveyances Act, at section 142,
yep.
Subsection 2.
Okay. So where in that does it say it is okay for a duty solicitor to get up and walk out after yelling at somebody?
Yeah, I'm not going to. The decision speaks for itself.
No, it doesn't. Piece of paper does not speak, Richard.
If you object to the decision, then you can take the matter to the LCRO, and the details of how to do that are set out in the decision.
I'm not interested in spending $50 to get a review over a decision that I don't comprehend.
Okay, look, I'm not going to speak to you anymore. I'm going to hang up the phone. I don't think this is going anywhere, and it's not helpful to you. And it's
well, I'm trying to get help. Are you refusing to give me any more assistance?
I am.
Okay. Thank you very much, Richard. This is recorded and will be posted on YouTube for everyone to see. Thank you. Bye. So that's Richard Moss. Apparently speaks for itself. Hang on. Let me listen. No. No, it's not speaking, Richard. It would take me to read and understand it have some comprehension of what it supposedly is speaking for itself about. You can't tell me where you've derived your authority over me. You can't tell me where Mr. and Mrs. Government apparently has made that decision. And I'm sorry, mate, but if we're all equal before the law, who's got authority to tell me what to do? I gave you guys full, clear and complete notice that everything I do is posted on YouTube for public purview. The fact that you choose to turn around and say, well, you can't, well, I need someone to tell me how. Because I believe I can. Now, if you believe I can't, I would like to see your proof in the matter. If you can't produce any evidence and you're onus probandi in saying I can't do something, prove it. Because I'll show you otherwise. See you later.